Hi everyone, it's Hannah from Hannah's Decodes, and today I thought I'd talk briefly about an experience I had on a walk a number of years ago. And I was walking in a local park down the road, and I was actually chatting with a friend, and I noticed, and this is about animal communication, and I noticed there were a number of birds of different species. So there were lorikeets, which are sort of parrots, colourful parrots you find in Sydney. Magpies, there are probably about 3 magpies, two kind of older ones that look like one juvenile, and a lot of noisy miners. They're native miners to the Sydney area and I think east coast of New South Wales. And they were all kind of gathered in a messy circle next in this park. And I was kind of thinking, well, that's kind of interesting. So I was sort of looking at them as I was walking by. And there's the noisy miners were all kind of chirping away. They're called noisy because they're noisy. So they're all kind of making a fuss and chirping. And the lorikeets were a bit noisy. And then they all went quiet. And the young magpie came into the middle of the circle and then went to one of the big magpies that looked like maybe a male, fully grown magpie, and stood there for a while. And then the magpie, the juvenile magpie, put its leg out, and the older magpie pecked it on its knee. And then the juvenile magpie walked to a barbecue we have in Australia, that in parks we often have electric barbecues to cook food on. And so the juvenile magpie walked to the barbecue and just stood with its back, and it was limping. So the peck on the knee obviously hurt a lot. So it limped to the barbecue and just stood there with its back towards all the other birds. And in seconds, all the other birds flew away, and that was it. And I just kept walking on, kind of going, wow, what's going on there? So I really felt like I was witnessing some kind of animal communication of perhaps this juvenile had done something quite wrong. And it looked like all these birds were witnessing it being punished and having some kind of consequence for what it had done. I have no idea what it had done, but it really did feel like all these birds were upset about this younger bird. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of like watching a Disney movie or something. It was crazy. So it was really, really fascinating to see. So I just thought I'd talk about that because it's going to move on to the next little topic. Many years ago as well, I had a dream, which was really kind of a slightly weird dream about I was making a sandwich to eat, and I cut the sandwich in half, and then the sandwich started kind of trying to talk to me. It was moving, and I could tell it was trying to talk to me like on a Muppet show, blah, 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 but I couldn't hear anything. And I thought, that's really weird. And I thought, oh, probably shouldn't eat this sandwich, but it's trying to tell me something. So anyway, that dream finished. But a couple of days later, I think a friend shared with me, I don't know if you may have all heard of Spirit the black leopard. And this was a leopard that was in captivity and quite aggressive and very fearful of people. And it had gone to it was in a enclosure that was very expansive. So it was almost being rehabilitated into a very very good conditions, but it was still very fearful from its previous experiences of people. And there's a lady called Anna Breitenbach who communicates with animals, and she does it through kind of meditation. So I'll share the link below. If you Google Spirit the black leopard and Anna Breitenbach, it's fascinating watching her go into this meditative almost trance where she's communicating with this leopard. And the leopard, it was, when Anna Breitenbach approached the leopard, it wasn't snarling at her and wasn't aggressive. It really pacified and it looked like it had a desire to communicate with her. And the leopard had this incredible enclosure, but wouldn't go into this big, expansive, almost like its own little field. It kept staying in the night enclosure because it was so fearful. And like 20 minutes after Anna Breitenbach spoke or communicated with the leopard and reassured it that there was nothing required from the leopard, and people didn't want to view it, and it didn't have to perform or growl or whatever it used to be made to do. It was quite curious about outside and then went outside eventually. So it was just fascinating. And I ended up doing a course with some friends in Melbourne about animal communication. And so there's also been studies done quite recently of dogs know when their owners are coming home and get ready and look at the windows, even if they're coming home at different times in the day. It's not like a regular, they finish work at 5 p.m. so they'll be home in 40 minutes or something. It can be any time. So dogs know when their owner has said, yep, this is the trip home. I'm in the car or the bus or whatever home, and they hop up and go to the door or the window. So there's all this kind of scientific stuff about animals tuning in to people's thoughts, but Anna Breitenbach tunes into animals' thoughts and emotions, and yeah, fascinating if you ever want to have a look. So I just thought that was a nice little story of kind of this dream that triggered, days later I'm, watching Spirit, the black leopard, on a video, and also seeing these birds have this kind of little bird law thing happening. So very interesting. And Spirit ended up, a nice story, using the enclosure and very content and happy. And I could give away sort of some of the ending, but it'd be really nice to see because it's just fascinating if you wanted to watch it. So I just thought, there's so many things that we can miss with our world if we don't sort of tune in. So I just thought this might give some people who are interested an opportunity to look at a big part of our world, which is animals, and perhaps the potential to communicate with them, and also to witness how they interact, communicate with each other. So I think that's it, and I'll see you next time. Okay, thank you. Bye.